teach in a class like this, you say, we never measure an object, we measure the properties of an object. Because when it comes to learning about things, we can only guess when there's only so much research we can do, and then everything just becomes a guessing game. Remember chemistry class, learning about atoms and seeing rings of shells of the electrons surrounding the protons and neutrons in the nucleus? Well, I dare you to actually look inside of an atom, because no one has ever done it. When chemists zoom in close enough, they see the atom as a fuzzy spot. And that's all. Just a spot, nothing else. So how do they know what's inside the atom, and how do they know what an atom even looks like? People probably remember a chemistry class as being boring memorization of stats that they can't for the life of them remember anymore. But that's the funny thing about testing our limits of science, because there's only so much you can do once you've witnessed as much as you can about things. It's then time to start theorizing. And when it comes to the atom, yes, a lot of it's based on science, of course, but some of it is expanding your mind to beyond what you can physically see, to learn what makes everything, and how everything actually works. History time. In the 1800s, English chemist John Dalton found matter was actually made of lumpy particles. Those were the atoms. And almost a century later, English physicist J.J. Thomson discovered the electron. Don't ask me how he discovered it. They don't explain that in the History of an Atom 101 class. Sorry. He postulated that there's positive energy in these atoms and that there was also negative energy particles. But then, by 1900, Max Planck was vibrating atoms, heating them until they glowed, and that's how they first measured the energy from these particles. By 1912, Danish physicist Niels Bohr said, "Here are some rules that seem impossible, but they describe the way atoms operate. So let's pretend they're correct and use them." So this explained the orbital shells of an electron, and really, this is how it happened. So when I was sitting at a bar at the Notre Dame campus, I asked a science geek history friend of mine if anyone has actually seen the inside of an atom. And he said, "Now, when I talk like this, I say, whenever we measure an object, we measure the properties of an object." So it seems that we've never actually seen inside of an atom, but we can guess what it's like by the way it reacts when we mess with it enough. Fascinating. Sounds kind of like some relationships I've had in the past. You know, potentially messy, but really intriguing when you think you finally figured it all out.